We're going to move directly on to our second presentation, and this is going to be from Amr Nader, who's with the company A³&Co. I'd like to introduce him to you, and he has a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering from Alexandria University. He's originally from Egypt. He then did a qualification in minor metallurgical zone refining technology. He's had a long career in the cement industry, working for a variety of different companies. He started off with ASEC in June 2001. He went on to work for A³&Co and later for Lafarge. Amr, can you hear us?
I hope you can do.
Yes, we can hear you. If you wouldn't mind putting your presentation into slideshow mode, that would be great. Thank you. So Amr worked for Lafarge at the Cairo Technical Center. He also worked as a deputy plant manager in the Zambia business unit. He then went on to work for a company called Smart Specialized Services. But more recently, between 2006 and February 2021, he worked for Yanbu Cement Company in Saudi Arabia, where he was an advisor to the CEO for strategic planning and performance management. He's since founded and has become the CEO of the A³&Co, and I'm sure he's going to tell us all about that. Amr, we can see you and hear you. Your PowerPoint is in the right format, so please go ahead and give us your presentation. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Robert, for the introduction, and I thank Middle Eastern Cement Conference and Global Cement and AUCBM for hosting me today. It's a great pleasure and honor, and I was honored also to be in the first version. I'm lucky to be here today, and I'm always glad to be with you, Robert. Today, I'm going to address, as we can see, digital maturity in Middle Eastern cement value chains. It's a past version. We addressed digital maturity as a concept. Today, we are addressing digital maturity as an applicable concept in the cement industry value chain. And I hope you will enjoy the rest of the paper. Today, I'm going to address the cement industry in the Middle East from a volume perspective and impact on global cement. Then, what is the cement value chain in parts, and how can we optimize our situation from a value chain perspective? Then, the concept of future cement plant, which is the vision and mission of A³&Co. Then I'll go for cement value chain excellence model. This is something we came up with in A³&Co based on our experience and lots of dealing in the cement industry, and we have spent our life in cement industry. Then we'll go for the digital maturity concept just as a refresher. Then we'll go for digital maturity model from an application perspective. So the cement industry in Middle East, and by Middle East, we generally refer to countries around the Arabian Peninsula. That's Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Syria, Jordan, UAE, Lebanon, Oman, Palestine, Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain. And we also include in A³ Sudan, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco to the concept due to the similarities in economy and language, macroeconomics, the way of the industry. So from an cement industry perspective, this area of the world is more or less similar. This area of the world represents around 8% of the global cement production, and it has two countries, Egypt and Saudi Arabia, that are in the top 10 or top 12 producers. They move between 7, 9, 10s, like that. The whole area from a non-group companies perspective, here I mean the private limited companies that are not related to the 5 big groups. Namely Lafarge, Holcim, Heidelberg, CEMEX, CRH, and the likes of it. Those companies are 114 business units. This is a huge number of plants. We have a huge impact on the industry. When we talk about Paris Convention, we talk about countries' commitments to Paris Convention, to sustainability, to carbon footprint. These companies make a huge difference. The groups commit on World Bank global level, but private limited companies are managed on their own. They are managed in silo groups in their own countries. These companies in platforms like AUCBM, Global Cement, WCA, these platforms are the best place for these companies to align and work towards an optimized value chain towards themselves, their competitive edges, and their contribution to their country's commitments to Paris Convention and sustainability. So if we looked at the cement value chain as was defined by Porter, a value chain is a set of activities that a firm operating in a specific industry performs in order to deliver a valuable product for the market, which means in our case in cement industry, it starts from the raw material part all the way not only to dispatch, as we usually stop there, but to sales. It ends at the buyer endpoint. So we should include in our cement value chain on-site concrete and mortars, prefabricated elements, ready-mix concrete. We don't need to vertically integrate into that segment, but we have to consider it in our value chain. So the top part is a cement concrete value chain. It includes our processes, our final products, and also our supply chain. As was said in the previous presentation, the alternative fuels part, but also the alternative raw materials, the cementitious materials, and this is a very important part for sustainability and carbon footprint, and also our wastes, cement kiln dust and recycled concrete material coming from the construction sector, as well as our additives that goes to our buyers like sand, gravel, water, and additives. This is all the cement value chain. So for example, a company that is focused on its value chain optimization must look and discuss with its buyers the amount of water required to change its cement to concrete. This is a major impact on sustainability and has a major leverage on the Paris Convention agreements and the ways that the cement industry exhausts the natural resources. So after the cement, the Paris Convention and the new change of the world towards a more optimized value chain, the cement industry is at a turning point. A path to value creation depends on many approaches. This value chain optimization has never been in the DNA of the cement industry. We have always been a producer of a high quality product, and that's it. Now we are more part of a very dynamic ecosystem, and we are unfortunately put in the front of it. So our contribution to CO2 or greenhouse gases is not the highest among other industries, but because we are a hugely used material, we are the secondly used material in the planet after water. So we impact a lot of downstream and upstream processes. So the impact of the CO2 that the cement industry have is not only our CO2, it's the CO2 of us and our downstream and upstream contributing businesses, logistics, and so many other things. So in A³&Co, we have agreed and generated, and we hope to achieve 10 golden rules for cement industry value creation. One is revenue growth. This is what everyone looks at. And in cement industry DNA, it has always been linked to volume of sales. We will see that always everybody is analyzing the construction sector in the company, in the country, to see the volume of sales expected. This is one part of it, but revenue growth is not only volumes, it's a lot of other issues. This takes us to capital efficiency, what to invest in and how to invest in. Most importantly, cost management. Cement industry in many countries, I would say in currently all the countries, there is nothing called sold out market. The markets are all under pressure. So cost management, which is in another word, your percentage of profit per ton, is your main competitive edge currently in the cement market. Then portfolio management, M&A, which is related to the sustainability concept, as well as the expansion concept, which will require business model optimization, maximum asset utilization, digital maturity, which will result in sustainability in operation and market differentiation. We see those 10 golden rules as a basic foundation and I would say the main pillars to build any cement BU roadmap towards value creation. Now we come to A³&Co. We are a group of experts, subject matter experts in cement. We have spent our lives in cement. We are currently around 10 people with around more than 200 years of cumulative experience. We have worked in around 60, 70 countries in all over the world, Asia, Africa, Europe, United States. The only continent I haven't worked in is South America, but cement has all been our life. We have worked on groups, private limited, small companies, big companies, consultancies. So we agglomerated all of that with a vision to bring what we see as a future cement plant into reality. The future cement plant from our perspective is a plant that is well designed, well operated, and producing green cement in the best value creation to its owners, its surroundings, its country, and the cement sector in total. For this, we have put a mission that we are committed to partner with our clients to evolve the way of producing green cement in an optimum value chain, realizing their full investment potential. We build on our capable, internationally recognized team to deliver value addition at every step throughout an ecosystem of 3 main pillars: operational excellence, digital maturity, and sustainability. We see that if the cement sector, I'm talking about private limited, I'm talking about non-group companies, if those companies could develop these roadmaps and really implement them within the coming 5 years, of course, some of these plants are already on that road, but to do it in a very well concise way, aligned between the industry, this will have a huge impact on how people perceive our sector, our general impact on our countries, and of course, the full impact we have on our planet. So in A³&Co, we summarized the value chain excellence model in 5 steps. First one is operational excellence. We see that companies should start from their operational excellence from a strategy development point towards a process excellence, tracking and monitoring of their operations, high performance team, which is a very important aspect in the cement industry. The cement industry has to invest a lot in bringing our people to a higher competency level, but not only technical competency, but management as well as digital and I would say exposure level to other levers happening around in the cement industry and other industries. And at the end of the day, a performance management system to govern all earlier than that. Doing that will elevate the level of perception of our teams. It will make our people more demanding and faster and more autonomous, which will require a very dynamic employee engagement strategy to sustain the results that was achieved in operational excellence. This takes us to the sustainability and the GRC concept, which works hand in hand to align and eliminate all the silos in the business unit, and also to integrate the business unit into the initiatives of the country and the initiatives of the cement sector as a whole. This has to be done in a digital maturity framework to allow the cement plant of the future to be well connected to its enterprise, well connected to its neighboring plants if the company have other plants, as well as to allow integration of data between the plants in the cement industry and the benchmarking, which is a very important lever for operational excellence to continue forward. So back to digital maturity, let's have a quick refreshment on the concept. In 2018, BCG developed a concept for digital maturity to understand the difference between digitization and digital transformation and a lot of the digital gig words that are being used currently. So usually companies are at the data digitization level, which is we are only converting what we do manual to a software. Then some companies have moved to process digitization, which is not only having some processes on soft copies, they are also having some processes linked into a platform. And believe it or not, this is the ERP level. So when a company has a DCS in the plant, a digital control system in the plant, and an ERP, they are still in number 2. Moving from business digitization to business transformation requires 2 things, but it's based more importantly on one very important concept called data monetization. And this is, I would say, one of the main blockers for digital transformation progression in cement industry. In cement industry, we look at data as a complementary addition to our business. We are doing good, we are producing well, we have high reliability, we have high optimization, we're looking at technical advancements in our technology. That gives us a feeling that we are on top of our business optimization. The point is, the concept developed here is how to use this data that we are generating in our plants in a money generating approach. So data monetization, changing data to money. This leap is a tipping point that will take digital transformation forward in the cement industry. This is in 2 steps. The first thing is digital optimization, and this requires thinking digital, not only making the manual process in a digital form, no, adapting the process to be able to do it digitally, which means less people, faster, and generating data that is required and will impact decision making. Last point is digital transformation. This is what companies think of what they look when they look at digital transformation, but unfortunately, in most of, according to BCG, 70% of the digital transformations happened in the past 5 years did not realize the results that was planned for it. And the main problem is people think of digital transformation before actually finalizing digital optimization. In digital transformation, you should realize at least one of the following: a changed product offering, new product offering, new value-added services, changed mode of business, premium service. So the cement industry need to act differently, produce differently, deal in their sales differently. This is when they realize digital transformation, and we'll talk how to bring that into life and to implement that in the next slides. To know where you are, there was a digital maturity concept that was developed. So it starts from business as usual and ends as innovative. According to a PwC study that was made in 2018, 45% of the industrial units in the world are at tactical level or below, from here to up. So 45% of the companies in the world did not reach the strategic level at that. From PwC data as well, cement industry as a whole, 95% of it is at the tactical level or below. Also in the same study, it was shown that only 5% from the industrial units in the world are in the innovative level, which means we are not yet behind, but we have to move fast, because everybody is running on the trace. But also it means that there is not a ready copycat system that is matured and can be implemented anywhere else. So everybody has to do his own homework on his own, has to try to make his own roadmap on his own, and to get with the best fit for himself, because there is no copies. So from let's take the tactical. The definition of the tactical is there is intentional experimentation, bolder initiative, and seeking executive support. This is currently, I would say, in our Middle East, I would say most 50 or 60% of the business units are within that level. We are trying bolder initiatives. We are talking to ERP providers, to data management providers, with automation providers, and we have our boards. They have on their agenda digital transformation. They are talking cybersecurity, some robotics. Everybody is trying a bits and pieces of initiatives, trying to make some sort of a digital transformation. Yet, the right step to start a digital transformation should be at the strategic level. Increased collaboration towards strategic transformation roadmaps. And this is what we'll cover in the coming slides. So in A³&Co, we developed a digital maturity model that will cover the full life cycle of a cement product, from quarry through raw material handling, grinding, pyro, finish grinding, dispatch till packing. This is horizontally on the process level, and it will cover also all the disciplines in the cement business unit, from an industrial functions through human capital, finance, IT, marketing till sales. It will also deliver a full integration of the data streams in all the enterprise architecture, business, data, application, and technology. And these parts are very important. It does not only cover the industry as we know it, from quarry to dispatch. This is when you talk to industrial companies, they will be always talking to you about IIoT or DCS or process expert or artificial intelligence on that side. When you talk to IT companies or data management companies, they will be always talking to you on industrial, human capital, finance, marketing, and sales from an ERP or a data lake or a BI perspective. But to reach, actually, to move from strategically forward to finalize step number 3 on BCG curve and move to actual digital transformation, you need to cover both together in a similar strategy. And your data enterprise architect, and this is one of the problems that faces most of the business units currently, that their architect is not integrated. They cannot integrate the data they collect from various systems into a decision-making platform, and this is part, a very important part of our solution that we'll talk about. So our solution at A³&Co will cover 10 levels. It started with a baseline digital maturity audit, and this is to tell the business unit exactly where they are on the digital maturity scale, to tell them exactly what they have from data collected, what they have from systems, what they have from architect, and to make a roadmap in details on how they can move from their current situation to what they have as a target from a digital maturity perspective. And then the application of the system will cover instrumentation and automation, IoT, artificial intelligence, including expert control, technical information systems, which will cover all the data within the industrial platform, ERP, which will cover all the data from the industry and other functions, IT architect, to be able to merge and integrate the previous systems together. Then 2 parts, 8 and 9, data management platform and BI, where they are tailored to the capacity and capability of the plant from a technology and a people perspective, as well as a BI system that is tailored to cement industry. The KPIs that you need to see, the KPIs that are relative to decision making of cement industry, and not just any KPI that is available in the market, and they are numerous. Last but not least, and this is our main, I would say, this is our golden fruit in that basket, the IDM, Interactive Decision Making Platform. This platform, we have experience. I myself have worked in cement industry from kiln operator level till I was a board member in some companies and vice president in others. When you see that line of management, we have a problem in decision making in cement industry, in making decisions that are based on scenarios that are non-manipulative, but by our people. We are mostly engineers. We know our business very well, so we can manipulate the data in the way we think it's right. Machines doesn't do that. Machines give you scenarios that are objective, not subjective to a direction that you feel it's right. And then you can do your subjective decision after that. It's up to you. But at least you will get the decision-making scenarios in a way that are fully objective to the real data you have in your business unit. One very famous example of that is the budget exercise at the end of each year. Usually in that budget exercise, we collect files from the plant showing the industrial capability and the forecasted industrial capability of the next year, where the plant is fighting on maximum maintenance budget, maximum shutdown possibility, to make sure that they are on the safe side. From the other side, we receive from the sales estimation volume of the next year based on past year's sales and based on some input data from the market expansion and the demand acceptance. And we always have this seasonality effect based on each country and those two numbers are usually different from each other, and then we set to align them in a way, and then comes the board input of the bottom line in between. We need that much bottom line, more or less, so we start adjusting prices and playing with cost around, and then comes a capital investment side to see what is required from a sustained capital and what is required from an expansion capital, and here goes our budget. This way of doing it, it's happening most probably in each plant every year. So 60% of this data is historical data. It should not be done on yearly basis. They are available and they should be automatically updated. Also, the scenario building need to be multi-factored. Not only volume, not only price, not only cost, not only operating time. You need to make a multiple factor, multi-dimension scenario to be able to see actually your forecasts in a better way. So this IDM will mainly handle this part of decisions and same of the likes on other levels. So our scenario, our digital maturity model, is a full solution to the cement industry, from the field IoT sensor to the boardroom dashboard scenario decision-making model. So that talk is very nice.
Sorry, Amr, we've run out of time. So if you wouldn't mind finalizing, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. So A³&Co is an impartial advisor. We do not rely to any supplier. We have, our model will give you 3 main inputs on your digital journey: assess where they are, create milestones, make impactful digital transformation. And this will take you to our BAT, best applicable technique, which in it we promise each business unit to make the full roadmap from the sensor to the IDM. And in each part, we promise to offer at least 3 different vendors from the high-class vendors available in the market on each step. As you could see, those are our official partners. Were mentioned not official, those are partners that we haven't yet signed with, but they are available in the market and they won't mind working with the cement industry at any point of view. So as I said, in each step, we are offering at least 3, if not 4, different vendors for each part of the solution. And here my presentation ended, and I hope it was sufficiently covering the topic. And I thank you very much for your time and for your attendance.
Thank you very much indeed, Amr, for a very interesting